Wally Drangmeister here, path3marketing.com. In this video, we are going to talk about inspiration for marketing. Marketing in small businesses and small organizations can be a real challenge. And the good news is there is inspiration all around you about what is working for other people, and you can take these lessons and apply them in your own special way to your business. The source of inspiration today is going to be the first episode of the TV series Better Call Saul. Now, I know what you're thinking. Marketing, an attorney who has corruption and certain ethical challenges. No, I'm not advocating anything illegal, immoral, unethical, but I am saying that there's some good lessons to be learned. The reason Better Call Saul is such a fantastic show is how true the characters ring, and the writers did a fantastic job in capturing some of the essence of what it really means to be a small business. In the case of Jimmy McGill starting his own legal practice. So the first scene that I want to talk about in this episode has Jimmy in the restroom while the court and the judge and the bailiff, the defendants, are waiting. He's there rehearsing what he is going to say. Now, that lesson really is good for all of us. If something is high-stakes communication, that messaging is really, really important. Now, luckily for us, we don't have to defend, in the case of Jimmy, three juvenile delinquents who broke into the morgue and were doing unseemly things with the dead body. We have great inspiration from our real customers, what they like about us, what they don't. Now, if you're not sure what that is, there's ways that you can absolutely find that out. You can ask them, better yet, have somebody else ask them. But then because that communication is so important, it's good to make sure that it's concise, that it's focused on your customers, and if you have that in place, it will be effective. Now, Jimmy is also the master of imagery in his language. Again, focus towards his audience, in this case, the jury. His line, "Oh, to be 19 again. Summer's going to last forever." Well, that is great imagery, and while I don't think the jury bought it fully, his clients ended up going to jail, it does come up with the point of what is it we're trying to accomplish. What we're trying to accomplish is words that communicate the value of what we offer, what we bring to our clients from their point of view. Now, the next thing that's really interesting is that when Jimmy answers his cell phone, he doesn't answer it as himself. He answers it as his Irish secretary, which is in fact still Jimmy, the law offices of James McGill. So here's the thing. If you're a small business, you can use the smallness to your advantage in lots of ways, but clients really do, customers really do want some professionalism. The great news is you can get someone to record your phone answering. You can get very low-cost phone answering services that are very professional where you don't have to fake it. But if you're answering your own phone, you don't necessarily need to turn that into a negative. You can let people know, I specialize in a super small niche. I don't have lots of customers at any given time, but the ones I have are important enough to me that I can actually answer my own cell phone. So keep that in mind as you look at building your business. Now, the next scene in episode 1, season 1 of Better Call Saul is where we first get to meet Mike Ehrmantraut. Now, we're going to talk about Mike, I'm sure, a lot more in the future, but this interaction has to do with Mike being the cashier where Jimmy has to present his parking ticket to get out of the parking lot. Now, one thing that Jimmy has over the first several episodes is he never has enough stickers on his ticket to get out of the parking lot. That made me think, the people that are giving him the stickers obviously weren't doing a good job, but there are probably things in your business. I know there are things in my business where we almost give our customers what they want. almost give our customers what they need. But don't be in a position where you think you're doing such a good job that you don't ask the question, where am I coming up short? Where might I be giving a customer only 5, 6, 7, 8 stickers when they really need 8 stickers to get the job done? Now, the next thing is we get to see Jimmy. The next scene is we get to meet him with the Kettlemans, Craig and Betsy. Mr. Kettleman is accused, rightly so, of embezzling $1.6 million. And the Kettlemans are on the lookout for an attorney. One thing that struck me there was that the Kettlemans tell Jimmy that they didn't necessarily want to hire an attorney because hiring an attorney made them look guilty. Jimmy's retort is, well, getting arrested is probably what made you look guilty. Once you look guilty, you probably do need an attorney. Now, that brought to mind with me some selling interactions. There comes in time of working with clients a point where they have a view that may be completely opposite, and you might have to actually challenge them a little bit. So you want to do that in a way that's considerate, but also very honest, and explain to them why that is the case. Because if you let them go on with their inappropriate, unbelievable, or just not useful position on things, and you do get the engagement, you're setting yourself up for disaster. So keep that in mind. There are times where we need to challenge our prospects, we need to challenge our clients, and when we do that, usually good things will happen. Now, as they leave the meeting, Jimmy does something that is just so comical. So the Kettlemans tell him, Jimmy, we need to sleep on it. And the worst thing that a small business person, that a salesperson, that someone doing marketing can hear is you hate to hear people are going to sleep on it, but there is a chance. And so Jimmy needs to leave his contact information with them. And in true Jimmy style, he doesn't have business cards, but he does have a matchbook. And he gives it to me and goes, here's a matchbook with my phone number on it. That just made me smile because many of the small businesses I work with, when I originally worked with them, they are in similar situations. They have coffee mugs, they have stickers, they have calendars, but they don't even have a web page that is findable with their name, address, and phone number. They don't even have business cards that they can give out, simple business cards. So Jimmy made this mistake. A lot of people do. You can easily rectify it, but in today's modern world, a matchbook is not enough. Neither is some swag, something with your name on it. It may be a nice condiment for your marketing activities, but you've got to have a website. You've got to have a business card. And that's enough for that lesson. Now, we then get to meet Jimmy with the Lindholm twins. As things go on, the twins, the skateboarding twins, set Jimmy up by running their skateboard, or one of them runs their skateboard in front of Jimmy's car. He hits it, and Jimmy thinks, oh my goodness, I've just nearly killed somebody. What am I going to do? And as the story unfolds, the slip-in Jimmy, the scam artist himself from his youth, realizes that he's being put on by these two twins, and he sniffs that out very quickly and then decides to get them to help him with his own caper, that of getting back in front of the Kettlemans by having the twins stage an accident in front of running into Betsy Kettleman's car so that he might get back in there and get their business. He knows that the Kettlemans have been talking to Howard at Hamlin and McGill, and he does not want them to get the business. Now, what's the point of this? Is that once you don't have the business, follow-up can be great. Now, do we think we ought to hire the twins and have them stage an accident? No, but keep in mind, you can do nice touches. Jimmy almost did a nice touch, and that was send them flowers, other than the fact that his card didn't have money on it or it wouldn't work. So he went to the more unseemly way of doing things. But keep in mind that just because a customer doesn't say yes today doesn't mean they won't say yes tomorrow, the next day, 3, 6, 9 months, a year from now. And so if we keep in touch with them in positive ways, and no, I don't mean having a skateboarder run into your car, but there are ways to do it that can really, over time, help you to continue to grow business by adding customers. All right, now, that matchbook we talked about earlier, it's interesting. Jimmy's brother Chuck sees the matchbook, and Chuck is concerned that there could be confusion because Hamlin McGill, and Jimmy McGill both have McGill in it, and people might be confused. As things stand, there's probably no way that Jimmy would ever have to change the name of his own firm, James McGill, because there was a McGill and Hamlin McGill. But as we will talk about in future episodes, there is a battle that brews. The point of this, though, is that, no matter what your business is in this modern internet age, there will be companies that sound a lot like it. There will be companies that have similar material. What you need to do is be distinctive, so none of that matters. Now, at some point, might you have to retain legal counsel because somebody has literally stolen your name? There is true trademark confusion and the like. Absolutely, that's possible. But also keep in mind that the better job that you do of distinguishing yourself in the minds of your customers, your prospects, those that are interested in you, the less likely things like this are going to cause you a problem. All right, then finally, the last scene, one of the most interesting scenes is that when our buddies, the Lindholm twins, stage their accident, they don't find themselves doing it with Betsy Kettleman. They do it with none other than Tuco Salamanca's abuelo. They mistake a very similar car for the one that they are looking for, and it just happens to be driving by. So the episode closes with the twins challenging Abuela and coming inside. Jimmy knows where they are generically. He sees the car. He sees the skateboard. He stops at the house. And who should meet him at the door when he knocks on the door but our friend Tuco Salamanca, who's pointing a pistol at his face? Well, what on earth is the lesson that I took away from this is follow-up is great, but you got to know your audience. So they thought they had Betsy Kettleman. They didn't. They had Abuela, Tuca Salamanca's abuela. And so their plan fell completely apart. I'm a huge advocate. I think it's the best way to niche into small businesses because you will know who you're dealing with. You will know your customers. Now, we will, knock on wood, never get in a position like the Lindholm twins and Jimmy McGill did, where they're face-to-face with a Mexican drug cartel person pointing a gun in your face. But the more you know about who you're trying to serve, the better off you will be. So that's it. That's my inspiration from episode 1, season 1 of Better Call Saul. For more information, or if you would like to be inspired for marketing for your business, check out my website, path3marketing.com, and my podcast, the Path3 Marketing Podcast.